5440. 5440 or fight. This was James K. Polk's 1844 campaign slogan for presidency. Polk used the idea of manifest destiny in his campaign. And what he did was he promised the people that he would take control of the Oregon Territory, that he would negotiate the Oregon Territory. And in the election of 1844, he, as an unknown candidate, really takes a strong lead over Clay and wins, and mostly because of his support of Manifest Destiny. So Texas is finally annexed to the United States in 1845. Polk had promised to annex Texas and also to obtain the Oregon Territory as part of his presidential campaign. However, a border dispute arises with Mexico over Texas, and Polk sends in federal troops. And of course, the war breaks out at the border, and this begins the Mexican-American War. General Zachary Taylor and General Winfield Scott lead many of the battles in the Mexican-American War. This is them on the previous page. In this war, Mexico is defeated. Comes at a very high cost for Mexico. 25,000 Mexicans are killed, and Mexico has to give a large area of land to the United States in 1848. As a result of the Mexican-American War, the United States gained California, Nevada, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, and Wyoming. The Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo ended the Mexican-American War, resulted in what was called the AmericanSession, and this was the area that Mexico had to give to the United States, all of those states that I just named. We also purchased, how nice of us, a small section of land from Mexico in lower Arizona. This was called the Gadsden Purchase. It was done in 1853, and it really completed the southern border of the United States. So now you can see with the MexicanSession, with the Gadsden Purchase, Texas annexation, and the Oregon Territory, we now have what the borders of what we call today the United States. So in talking about people moving west, one of the things that caused a great movement west was the discovery of gold at Sutter's Mill in 1848 in California. 1849, a flood, over 300,000 people rushed to California, and these people were called the 49ers. In California, there was such chaos, such competition for gold, lawlessness, and just general upheaval. They realized they needed the structure of government, and they realized they needed to join the Union. So this leads to early statehood for California. The other draw for many settlers was the Homestead Act. This was an 1862 law that gave 160 acres of land to citizens who were willing to live on it and cultivate it for at least 5 years. In addition to that, in 1889, the United States government decided to designate nearly 2 million acres of land for settlement. This was located in Indian Territory, and it was a large area that once encompassed what is now Oklahoma. It was called the Oklahoma Land Rush. If you've ever seen the movie Far and Away, in the beginning of that movie, there is a scene from the Oklahoma Land Rush. The Morrill Land Grant Act was also a motivation or an incentive for people to move west. In 1862, a congressman named Justin Smith Morrill supported this Land Grant Act, which gave a major boost to higher education in America. The act would set up institutions in each state, and these are ag and tech institutions. These are institutions that would educate people in agriculture, home economics, mechanical art, and other practical studies. In 1849, Polk leaves office and Zachary Taylor is elected the 12th president. This is another war hero, of course. He was very well known for his efforts in the Mexican-American War. However, he died only 16 months into his presidential term. See, manifest destiny wasn't hard, and now we can move on to the gory details of the Mexican-American War. Remember the Alamo!